This video is titled, Drake Won't Stop Humiliating Himself.
So UMG has officially responded to Drake, and they have basically told him, it's over, my guy.
Yo, it's your boy, the Official Mirror. Before we get into this video, I want to ask you guys a huge favor. Make sure that you hit this like button and make sure that you comment your opinions in the comment section down below. I will be replying to all comments. Also, this is the biggest of them all. Make sure that you smack this subscribe button. And I mean, smack this subscribe button, so you won't be missing no future uploads. Right back to the video.
They slapped him with this 25-page rebuttal to the judge, where they essentially played the exact same game that Drake's lawyers were playing, using song lyrics both against Drake and to bolster their argument. Only in this case, they're using logic and reasoning, where Drake was using academics' YouTube streams and his own fan pages for reference.
Yeah, I wanted all this, why I strive for it. This me, you'll never hear a reply for it.
Drake. Successful.
The quote in the first line,
the most successful recording artist of all time.
Whoa.
Their game that Drake's lawyers were in this and his own fan pages for reference.
Yeah, I wanted all this, why I strive for it. This me, you'll never hear a reply for it.
Drake. Successful. Plaintiff, one of the most successful
recording
artists of all time, lost a rap battle that he provoked and in which he willingly participated. Instead of accepting the loss like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be, he has sued his own record label in a misguided attempt to salve his wounds. Plaintiff's complaint is utterly without merit.
Alright, so how, okay, hold on. Everybody knows that Kendrick and Drake had their own beef, right? Everybody knows. They had their beef for years, right? But my question is Drake embracing hip-hop by trying to have a lawsuit when he's getting cooked on sales because of Not Like Us? Is that embracing hip-hop? I don't know if that's embracing hip-hop, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That's weird. That's weird. You started to, like, if I'm not mistaken, you did First Person Shooter. Fire song, by the way, Drake. I ain't gonna lie. That's a good song. I fuck with First Person Shooter. OD. Okay? I'm one away from Mike. Yeah. Like, it's a good song. Kendrick did like that. In the comment section down below, let me know what you guys feel when it comes to this lawsuit versus UMG, bro.
With prejudice. Basically, they came out swinging and making the point that everyone else already has, that if Drake had been victorious in this battle of public perception, that he would not be suing anyone.
Nah, facts,
in fact, he would likely be going on the Fuck Kendrick tour just like he did with Meek Mill. They even note here that Drake himself was encouraging Kendrick to drop a response to him for.
And then there's the thing. He gave him Tailor Made. He had Tupac he basically told Kendrick, you know what angle you should take? You should take this angle of me being a weirdo. And he took it. He took that angle. He said, oh, you want me to do that? All right, bet. Look, this is what I got. And then you wanted this man to drop something. You was milking the battle. You was the main person pushing for this nigga to drop.
For weeks, which is exactly what happened. He was even going on Instagram saying that they have nothing to drop, and that he had the red button on deck if they did, which most people now assume was his Family Matters track. And well, we all know how that ended. Essentially, UMG comes from the angle that both of these guys said hyperbolic things about each other. Obviously, Drake was called a PDF at the Super Bowl, by the way, and the Grammys. Oh god, and at the Oscars too?
Yeah.
Well, we're halfway through the
show.
Now,
about to be in the Olympics.
It's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a pedophile.
And Kendrick was called a wife-beating lowlife who Drake says is fathering the love child of his partner and his best friend and business associate, Dave Free. Basically, UMG is saying that Drake and Kendrick, by Drake's depiction in his lawsuit, both actually committed their share of defamation using UMG as the vehicle to do so, and that this is actually an attempt to basically limit or restrict Kendrick's right to free speech and creativity, and that the implications of this lawsuit are
notably, less than 3 years ago, Drake himself signed a public petition criticizing the trend of prosecutors using artists' creative expression against them by treating rap lyrics as literal facts. See, UMG's request for judicial notice, RJN XA, as Drake recognized, when it comes to rap, the final work is a product of the artist's vision and imagination. Drake was right then and is wrong now. For real. For real. The complaints, unjustified claims against UMG are no more than Drake's attempt to save face for his unsuccessful rap battle with Lamar. The court should grant UMG's motion and dismiss the complaints with basically they want him to dismiss this because if they so you signed a petition to not have lyrics used against you in the court of law, and then because you're losing a battle, the lyrics of Kendrick Lamar's song hurt your ego and pride so bad that you're throwing a suit. It could be about money because people, like, the rumors going around was that he was coming off of his contract, but still.
Something that Drake has signed petitions against in the recent past, using song lyrics as facts in court.
Mind, body, and soul, you need facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't do it.
These are all things I said when the lawsuit first reared its ugly head, that there is no logic behind his claims because he did all the same shit. For instance, in alternate reality where photos surfaced of Whitney being all beaten and battered, we might be looking at a totally different outcome. But to the victor goes the spoils, and for Drake's claims of adultery and abuse, there was little to no evidence to point to. That's why the claims really did not.
I heard that one of the little kids might be Dave Free. Don't make it Dave Free. They hire their crisis management team to clean up the fact that you beat on your queen. Like, what, bro? Hard songs. I enjoyed all the diss tracks that you guys made, bro. It was really a hip-hop year last year at 2024, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Next, they really go through Drake's career and highlight the fact that they had a successful business partnership for the greater part of the last 2 decades, making him one of the most popular artists in the world during that time.
His business is selling the record, but everything that they said that they did for Kendrick is something they did for him.
And then they break down the lyrics of the songs from the beef to kind of just display that both of these men were talking their shit to each other. Then, seemingly impatient with the time it was taking Lamar to respond, Drake released Tailor-Made Freestyle on Instagram. The recording uses artificial intelligence to make it sound as if the voices of deceased rap icon Tupac and rapper Snoop Dogg are rapping Drake's lyrics.
He did the Tupac thing. Give me 50. Yeah. Doing the Tupac AI thing. Right. You know, you talk about feeling disrespect. I mean, the whole coast, we love Tupac. Right. You know what I'm saying? The world loved Tupac.
Drake urges Lamar in the voice of Tupac to talk about Drake liking young girls. I mean, y'all have to remember, Drake said the Epstein angle was what he expected. That he plotted for weeks and fed Kendrick this information. They also note that these rumors of him having questionable relationships with underage girls in the entertainment industry.
Millie Bobby Brown. Let's talk about it. Talk about it, Drake.
Have been circling for almost a decade.
Why were you able to pull that picture up?
Even cite here the video of him and the 17-year-old girl on stage at his concert from 2010. Remember, Drake is the one who specifically brought up Millie Bobby Brown on The Heart Part 6, and to me I've always seen that as sort of a self-report, because while Kendrick said, "Oh, you like these young girls," he never mentioned any of them by name. And in his own voice, Drake raps,
"Since like that, your tone changed a little. You're not as enthused. How are you not in the booth? It feels like you kinda removed. You try to let this shit die down. Nah, Nah, not this time. You following through. I guess you need another week to figure out how to improve. What the fuck is taking so long? We waiting on you.
And then obviously the nuke was dropped on his head top.
Nah, facts.
Now they really
you enticed him to drop twice? One song and then another? I didn't even know those lyrics was actually part of the song. Drake, oh no, you called the boogeyman. You said, hey boogeyman, I need you to take me out now. That's what you said. Cause what?
Continue to harp on the back and forth of the lyrics. I saw Drake fans online saying that this was pathetic, but it's like, how do you not realize that they are just being petty and showing Drake how slippery the slope he's trying to create is? They also say that he has zero grounds for his defamation case, and I feel like even if he did, he should be suing Kendrick, not UMG, because the words said with alleged malice all came out of his mouth. They then cite several defamation lawsuit attempts that public figures filed that quickly got dismissed. For those of you that don't know, defamation is extremely hard for a public figure to try and prove, and to say someone acted with true malice is almost impossible to prove. Basically, the filing says, Drake, you are a huge hypocrite and a really sore loser, and you have no justification for your claims that will hold up in court.
I study rap battles for a living.
So this is honestly going exactly like I thought it would, and it's...
No, you don't. Aubrey. No, you don't. Get up.
Even funnier to watch all the Drake dick riders crash out on Twitter. It has been damn near a year since this all started, and they have fought tooth and nail every single day trying to twist and turn the narrative in their favor.
Embarrassing.
Obviously, Drake's not fucking banging underage girls.
He can get any girl he wants.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like, I think Drake won that beef. Drake revived Kendrick's career.
100%.
Yeah, come on. I mean,
Aiden Ross, I love you, brother. I love you, brother. Kendrick was always, like, after I did my research, Kendrick was always making fire music. I feel like the same, like, Drake didn't revive Kendrick's career. The beef enhanced it. The beef enhanced it. But Drake didn't revive Kendrick, bro. I'm sorry. I can't.
I mean,
it's really like Kendrick did permanent damage to some of these fools. Like, they're out here hiding his albums at the store.
I'm doing what COVID did. They won't get over it.
Doxing people and threatening lives over Billboard charts. This one girl, the Kendrick fan, even went out to the place that they were going to meet up to fight.
If any of y'all wanted to know, I am here. I'm still here. Yeah, still waiting.
Wait, who fighting?
Now, to me, both of these people should be ashamed of themselves, because they have let this internet shit go way too far. They are way too invested. Like, whether you like Drake or Kendrick, it will never be worth losing your life.
And then they get people to push a narrative, and then you become a human bot. Don't be a bot-ass nigga. You know, don't be programmed to say something that's not true because it's somebody else's agenda, because you heard other bots say it.
And even when Drake dropped his most recent album on Valentine's Day, which I actually thought was a decent record, his fans couldn't even truly enjoy it because the Boogeyman and has had the #1 song in the world with Luther, and has now been beating Drake's album in sales months after GNX was released. An album with half the amount of songs, by the way, with several of his singles retaining very high place.
Luther. Tough. Not like us. Tough. TV off. Tough. And squabble up. Tough. All I know from the Party Next Door album with Drake is give me a hug, give me a hug, give me a hug. But GNX is definitely going to outsell, especially because he had that extra boost from the Super Bowl. So it was already number one. It went down a little bit. The Super Bowl brought it back to number one, like it just hit first week numbers all over again. And now it's still sitting at number one. I ain't gonna lie, Kendrick played 3D chess while you was playing checkers, my brother.
On the charts. And this was all despite Drake allegedly paying people trying to manufacture trends for songs from his new album.
Just break down what you've been doing with Drake and Party Next Door's team for their album launch.
We did 53 million views in a week. His album went number one in 7 days. They gave us a budget to pay out their audience, pay out clippers and UGC creators to just make content like around the album, anything related. So we're paying 70 cents per 1,000 views for UGC creators to make like videos reacting to it, lip syncing, dancing.
And you guys basically created like the Nokia trend.
Yeah, it's cooking right now. I can't escape it.
That is the exact same shit that he was accusing Kendrick and UMG of doing to manufacture a hit for Not Like Us.
Wait.
While his fans encourage people to stream the album in their sleep, manufacture a hit for Not Like Us. While his
Alright, look, this is what I'm just gonna say, right? I'm just gonna say this, right? Give me a second. I'm gonna use a voice. Don't get distracted. No, not that one. I gotta do this one. I gotta do the nasally voice. Don't get distracted. The album is performing well despite the clear lack of support from the streaming platforms and paid anti-Drake campaigns and tweets. Keep buying the album. Wait, keep buying. The album has been number one all week on iTunes and Amazon. Nokia is number one on iTunes. Purchase songs individually on both platforms. Maintain it. Keep streaming. Stream the album directly and use playlists for streaming long term throughout the day. No shuffle and don't mute. I'm not gonna lie. That's a Drake laser.
Fans encourage people to stream the album in their sleep.
Because y'all want me to purchase the album and just let it play. Like, y'all talk about iTunes and Amazon. What's your Spotify looking like? I'm sorry. You can't buy songs on Spotify, at least I don't.
And some of them were even out here buying 30 copies to try and propel him up the charts. And that's not to even mention the accounts who have been running propaganda plays with steak ads for the last 9 months, spreading blatant lies every single day to millions of accounts. And even comparing his situation to Emmett Till, like some of y'all have lost the fucking plot. On another front though, I did want to talk about Drake's tour in Australia, because it got cancelled about halfway through, with his team stating that it was due to a scheduling conflict.
So Drake has actually just canceled the remaining dates on the Australia and New Zealand tour.
They suppressing him in Australia too?
Yo,
shut up. UMG reached crazy!
Wow.
Which people were not buying at all.
Fans are pissed off because they have all these shows now that are canceled and they're trying to figure out what is happening, because the reason that was given was just scheduling conflict, and people were like, that makes no sense. What is a scheduling conflict? This is supposed to be a tour. Y'all supposed to have it together. They're like, he's not committed to his fans. They think that there's something underlying here. There's something really, really wrong. I don't know how oversight like that happens though on a tour this big.
Exactly.
And since he stopped the shows, he has made non-stop public appearances. So it seems that the schedule was pretty cleared up all along. This cancellation led to many people assuming the tour was not selling as well as
No. So what I think, and maybe I'm wrong, he did this tour so he could get his own content, because people peep the dates, right? If you guys can't see the dates, he did this tour so he can have people worried about him when Kendrick was performing at the Super Bowl, and he did it long enough to where he feel as though the Not Like Us stuff and the Super Bowl performance is washed out. That's what my opinion is. I don't know the truth. I don't know the facts. I'm just an average Joe. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure he did the tour just so he won't be sitting around worrying about what Kendrick's doing on the Super Bowl. And so he could really see the support system that he has from the fans and stuff while he's going on his tour, instead of watching the Super Bowl. Like, would you rather watch Kendrick, or would you rather come to my show type of beat. You get what I'm saying? But he did that in Australia and New Zealand, Sydney, and yeah. So that's my opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys feel.
He thought it would, and even looking at some of these videos, the crowd looks much weaker than what you would expect. Other than that, every night this shit basically turns into a as well as he thought it would, and even looking at some of these videos, the crowd looks much weaker than what you would.
Bro. They're playing a classic and nobody's singing the song?
Would expect. Other than that, every night this shit basically turns into a charity case with people begging Drake for money. And of course he had to go on yet another rant on the fakeness of the entertainment industry, crying about everyone who decided to turn their back on him in what he describes as his weakest moment.
For my family, for my friends, for all my collaborators, all the producers, all the other artists that I work with, the ones that didn't turn pussy, I mean the ones that's still real, you know.
So Drake clearly is still out to self-victimize himself, and the dude is still extremely hurt. Like at the end of the day, Drake's reputation, fame,
he ain't have to start with K-Dot, bro.
Almost seemed more important to him than the actual money, and now a lot of that has obviously been stripped away. I mean, just looking at that moment from the Oscars, it was the most talked about thing of the night. In terms of the petition he had filed against iHeartRadio, trying to see the payola discovery, they have come to a resolution with iHeart saying, in exchange for documents that showed iHeart did nothing wrong, Drake agreed to drop his petition. No payments were made by either one of us. Remember that Drake's stance was that iHeart had received illegal payments, aka payola, from UMG to boost the radio play of the #1 song in the world. This was settled by a judge with prejudice, meaning that Drake cannot go back and try and open this back up. And that is kind of the exact way I see this UMG lawsuit playing out. And I just really can't shake the thought, like, why did you have to do this, Drake? Like, even if he somehow wins, it sets a horrible precedent for rap, freedom of speech, and really all forms of artistic expression that are protected by that. All this guy had to do was take his L on the chin and move on. He has a big enough fan base, and he just dropped a good enough record where the conversation would have begun to move past the beef. In fact, I think people were getting a little bit fatigued of it, seeing the Grammys, seeing the Super Bowl. I think it felt like 100% done.
The Olympics that's about to happen. Because
he's
gonna do it there too.
Passed, but it's like he just keeps extending it. He keeps turning the stove back on only to burn his own hand. But either way, I want to know what you guys think about this latest update down below. I also want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some other rap beef out here needs to be covered.
I ain't gonna lie, Jamari. W video, bro. W vid.